Alright guys, welcome back to Beautiful Mind today. Today we're going to be discussing Saturn, and we're going to be discussing Saturn over a period of about 800 days, starting from our low here. So before we get going, I really need to discuss this scale of Saturn. It's not really difficult to understand, but we're going to go over it together because as we start to discuss it, I really cannot lose you and have you frustrated that you don't understand what's going on. So, this is the sign of Saturn, and this is the symbol. And it takes approximately 800 days or 114 weeks or 26.6 months or 2.2 years for Saturn to move through one symbol of Pisces, the whole 30 degrees. And the blue is the 30 degrees or 29 degrees of the zodiac. We've assigned a low, and the low was 19,856, and that was March 10th at 0 degrees of Pisces. Saturn takes approximately 30 years to move one entire circle or 12 signs of the zodiac. So we therefore assign 30, 300, 3,000, or whatever multiple works best. For Bitcoin, we're using 3,000 for each 1 degree that Saturn moves through the zodiac. Now, at times, Saturn will go retrograde and move back, and then will station and move direct again, and in the new year we'll move into again these degrees again as we move up. Now I wrote a bunch of these out as symbols. I write symbols because it's easier for me to just write symbols. I can put a lot more data in a very small space and whatnot. So if you don't understand what the symbols are, I'm going to say what that is so that we assign the correct month. And every single degree on this zodiac where I've wrote these dates on here is where it will be at that degree. Now when it passes over, the same thing. I've wrote out 2024 all the way up to our retrograde period where we move backwards again, and then we start into 2025. And we run out the rest of the year in the dates before we leave the sign of Pisces. And here we're going to discuss this too. This is my 10, 11, and 12 month Bitcoin forecast for our next major blow off top. And it complies perfectly with my forecasting. So let's talk about Saturn. Saturn made a low here at 19,000 at 0 degrees. And as we move through the zodiac, when we hit April 14th here, we hit 31,800 exactly. However, Saturn kept moving forward until it went retrograde on June. And then it moved back in the zodiac, and pricing moved downward. And we did not see the end of this pricing structure until September 8th here, when it was retrograde, we came back to 25,800 right here, no mistake. And this sideways and downward pressure did not subside until we went to October 12th, and we stopped going sideways and down, and we returned to 0 degrees of the zodiac. Saturn was right back at 0. We discussed this in a previous tutorial. From there, the market I told you to buy went up. And by the time that we got up to January, into this period here, I want you to note this, okay? January 10th, the sign of Capricorn. Our scale said 31.8, okay? But we were at 50,000 there. However, by January 20th, the scale stated that we would have to be at around 38,000. And that is exactly and precisely where we went to. So moving forward now, our market made a big move up. And it says here that when we were to be at March around the 10th, there could be a top around 52,000. Well, we were much higher. We went all the way up to 73. So I noted that. And then I noted this. And I also noted our low at 38,000 because we're still vibrating. Getting back to March, this was our top here at 73,000. And then from there, we moved through this period here. And by April 8th and the 4th here, we were again at another top. It's showing 70. The scale shows us 61. And it wasn't until, right, our June, right into this June period here, May and June, right? May 19th it was calling for a top here. And on the 21st, it may top at, well, it says here 71,000. And then we started to go retrograde, and we are now starting our retrograde period. And between August 12th and 26th, we're vibrating back to the 17th degree. So right now we're in a channel between this 73 and this 49, and it complies perfectly with our move back right now, because this is our retrograde period, and we will not stop going backward until October 28th, where we will be at 12 degrees and we will be in line with pricing of around 52,000. It's very interesting, guys. And you know, we're talking out here, right? This late October here. And then we start moving forward, and that doesn't start until the 4th of December. So that's quite a ways. So we can go sideways and do nothing for quite a while here. And then when we start moving forward again in January, we're going to start having, right? We're going to start having our move up again, and we're going to be moving through all of this period. And by February 7th and the 14th, our scale will state that we'll be having to be at 73,000 because that is our 10th month. And on our 11th month in March, we will be in the scale of these 80,000. And by April, we will be in the scale of 90,000 and peak out by 100, which is why I have this orange right here. It complies perfectly with my Bitcoin forecast for a top here. Right? And this top can be, as we're saying, in the scale here, anywhere up to here, right? So, and that looks perfectly like that could happen, given the fact that if we were to draw our angles on here, that would comply perfectly with our forecast for this topping area. So I hope you really enjoyed that synopsis of how we make scales and how we align them. You can do this with tops as well and look for bottoms as well, but I go from the lows and run them out. And I thought I would show you. It's not that difficult to do. If you have any questions or would like a copy, I could make you a copy. However, I'd have to charge you for postage, or I could send it to you via email. I'd still have to charge you a little bit. This is my private work, and there'd be a minimal charge for that. If you like the work that we do here, then give us a like, share it with your colleagues, and tear the rest of our tutorials apart. If you're new here, I'm Roland Attenborough. I'm the leading GANN scientific and analytical researcher. You can hit us up, and there are no stupid questions. Any stupid question you had, I had 1,000 more. That's why I know how to do all this. You have questions, I have answers. 15 minutes with me can make your family a fortune. What do you have in your wallet? Anyways, thanks for having us as a guest today. Peace and love to you.